The city lights blurred into a watercolor smear as Maya walked, the heels of her boots clicking a lonely rhythm on the damp pavement. It was late, that quiet hour when the city finally exhales and the only sounds are distant sirens and the hum of streetlights. She clutched her purse strap, a nervous habit she'd picked up living in the city. The air, usually thick with exhaust and noise, felt strangely thin, charged with an unsettling silence. She took a shortcut through a familiar narrow street, a canyon of brick and fire escapes she'd walked 100 times before. But tonight, it felt different. The shadows seemed deeper, inkier, clinging to the corners and doorways, like they were hiding something. That's when she heard it. Another set of footsteps, echoing hers but slightly offbeat. Click, clack, scuff, click, clack, scuff. She slowed her pace, her heart starting to hammer against her ribs. The other footsteps slowed too. She sped up, her breath catching in her throat. They sped up, keeping perfect, terrifying pace. A cold dread, sharp and icy, pricked its way up her spine. "Don't look back," she told herself. "Just keep walking. Don't show you're scared." But her hands were trembling, fumbling as she tried to fish her keys from her purse. The metallic jingle sounded deafeningly loud in the quiet street. The footsteps were closer now, so close she could almost feel the vibration through the soles of her shoes. Panic seized her. She broke into a run, her boots slapping hard against the concrete. The alley ahead promised a quicker route to the main road, a shortcut to safety. Without a second thought, she plunged into the darkness, the brick walls closing in around her. The air grew cold, and the smell of rain-soaked garbage filled her lungs. She didn't dare look behind her, convinced that to see the source of the footsteps would be to seal her fate. She could hear the heavy, scraping sound chasing her, getting louder, more aggressive. Bursting out of the alley's mouth, she didn't stop. She ran, gasping for air, until she was back under the orange glow of a major street, a lone car whizzing by. Her lungs burned. She leaned against a cold lamppost, her whole body shaking, and finally risked a glance back at the alley. The entrance was a gaping black square. Silence. There was nothing. No one. Just the empty, dark space. Relief washed over her, so potent it made her knees weak. It was just her imagination. The late hour, the empty streets, it had all just played tricks on her mind. She laughed, a shaky, breathless sound. She pushed herself off the lamppost, ready to continue her walk home, her heart rate slowly returning to normal. But as she turned, a movement from the corner of her eye made her freeze. She looked back toward the alley she had just fled. From the oppressive darkness, a figure emerged. It didn't walk. It didn't run. It glided out, a seamless, silent motion that defied logic. It was tall and unnaturally thin, a silhouette that seemed to drink the light around it. It stopped at the edge of the alley, its form indistinct, but its presence overwhelming. And then it slowly, deliberately lifted an arm and pointed directly at her. Time stopped. The city noise faded away, and all Maya could hear was the frantic, useless beating beating of her own heart. She was no longer just being followed, she was being hunted. Maya backed up instinctively, pressing herself against the glass wall of the bus shelter. She raised the pepper spray, her finger hovering over the trigger. Then the street flooded with light headlights. A bus rolled up to the stop, its brakes hissing softly as it came to a halt. The sudden brightness made the shadow retreat, melting back into the alley like it had never been there at all. Maya let out a breath she didn't realize she'd been holding. The doors opened. She nearly laughed from relief as she stepped inside. "I don't think I've ever been happier to see a bus," she said, swiping her transit card. The driver didn't respond. He sat perfectly still, staring straight ahead. His face was pale in the dim interior lighting. Maya hesitated for a moment, then shrugged it off. Maybe he was tired. It was late, after all. The bus was empty. She walked to the back and took a seat by the window, watching the streetlights slide past as the bus pulled away. For a moment, she thought she saw the shadow again standing in the alley, watching her leave, but when she blinked, it was gone. Her body slowly relaxed as the bus continued on its route. Too relaxed. After several minutes, something felt wrong. The bus wasn't stopping. It passed one stop after another without slowing down. No bell rang. No doors opened. Maya checked her watch. Her stop was coming up. She reached up and pulled the cord. The bell chimed. The stop requested sign lit up. The bus didn't slow. She pulled the cord again. Still nothing. "Excuse me," she called toward the front. "This is my stop." No response. She stood and walked cautiously down the aisle. "Hey, did you hear me?" The driver didn't move. A chill crawled up her spine. She reached out and touched his shoulder. The moment she turned him toward her, she screamed. His eyes were dull and glassy. His skin was cold grey and stretched tight over bone. He was dead. The body slumped forward, but the bus kept moving. The steering wheel turned on its own. Maya staggered back, panic flooding her chest. She ran to the front door and slammed her hands against it. "Open. Please open." The doors didn't budge. The engine growled louder as the bus accelerated, taking turns too sharply, throwing her off balance. She was flung to the floor as the bus swerved, her head striking a metal pole. Stars exploded behind her eyes. She struggled to sit up, her vision blurring. That was when she noticed the smell. Sweet, chemical. A strange green mist seeped from the vents above, curling through the air like smoke. Maya tried to crawl, but her limbs felt heavy, unresponsive. Her eyelids drooped despite her desperate efforts to keep them open. The last thing she saw was the ceiling splitting apart, metal peeled back like skin. The bus finally came to a stop in an abandoned industrial zone on the edge of the city. With a sound like cracking bones, the wheels unfolded, stretching into long, jointed legs that lifted the bus high off the ground. The sides rippled, no longer solid, no longer pretending. The roof spread wide into massive, leathery wings. The thing that had once been a bus rose into the air and vanished into the night. By morning, Maya would be listed as missing. another person who simply never made it home. And somewhere in the city, a new bus route would quietly appear, leading unsuspecting passengers to a destination they would never return from. Because sometimes the most dangerous monsters don't chase you. They wait, and they offer you a ride. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.